Welcome to this super easy and relaxing process. This week we're slowing down and we're going to enter a calm state of mind away from all the chaos of the world. I invite you to draw alongside me, keeping this video up in the background for reference. This video contains minimal editing to give off a more relaxed and slower pace. I've only cut out big gaps where I stepped away from the table, and I sped it up slightly so it wouldn't take forever to upload, because in reality this took me an hour to sketch out and I cut it down to a half hour. So feel free to take as much time as you need to complete your page. Towards the end, it started feeling overdone to me, so that's when I know to stop and take a day to step back and see if I want to alter anything or continue on to the inking process. As you draw, be aware of how you're holding your utensil. Keep a relaxed grip. It shouldn't fly out of your hand, and having a loose range of motion allows for much more accurate movement. Why is this? When your hand and wrist and arm and elbow all act separately, your movements become more mechanical. Try drawing a banana with your wrist and forearm planted on the table. Then try drawing a banana with the movement of your whole forearm. This results in a smoother line and more natural curve, and you'll probably notice that you were putting much less pressure on the paper the second time, which is exactly how you want to be drawing. Another extremely helpful hint is break the habit of laying on your paper. Don't keep your face an inch from your work. I agree, it's very comfortable and you feel much more connected with your work when you do this, but I've also learned that this causes disproportionate sizes, oblong shapes, and an overall lean to the entire image. So step back, practice good posture at a table, or lean against a tree and prop your work up on your knees, and move your work around so you can see every piece from the same point of view, which helps point out bits that need adjusted. As you can see, I couldn't find a ruler, so I folded a piece of paper, nice and thick, with solid straight edges to use as a straight edge for my lines. Then I went over one side with a tape measure to make quarter marks along the ruler. I figured any space smaller than a 1/4 inch I could easily measure by eye. During this process, you might feel like you're displeased with how your progress is going, but trust me that it's all good practice. Learning what shapes and combinations you don't like is just as important as knowing your favorite shapes and combinations. More often than not, I make mandalas that I am not happy with, but it teaches me what looks good. I'm very out of practice here, so it didn't turn out to be my favorite, but I don't think it's all a mess, so I'm sure I'll be happy with it after I color it. Try your best not to get caught up on perfect details. Throughout this session, I fell victim to this bad habit, especially at the very beginning. I find it helps to have stencils for circles and a straight edge to keep clean lines. I seem to have temporarily misplaced my circle that's a tongue twister. My circle stencil, so I wasn't able to use them here, but I used to use them frequently. Whenever I need bigger circles, like when I draw dream catchers, I trace a mug or something smooth, and I've learned that practicing drawing small circles is much easier than trying to trace super small objects for your tiny circles like marker caps or thin pill bottles. If you're not sure how many points you want to start with, you can start with 4, which is what I normally do. You can trace light guidelines from corner to corner, or connecting the exact middles of each side through the center of the paper, even if it's rectangular. I like doing this because it very easily turns into 8 points once you begin dividing up each section into more complex shapes. And if you aren't looking to fill the entire page, which I have found to be more difficult than I initially thought, I recommend extending out the middle guidelines further than the corner guidelines, creating more of an overall diamond shape on the paper. I have tried 6 points before, but it was measured unevenly and ended up looking disproportionate. And until you become comfortable with creating mandalas, or if you have a perfect stencil, I recommend avoiding odd numbers. They're much harder to space evenly. Sticking with multiples of 4 is usually the safest bet. Frequent breaks are very important so that you don't get burnt out. So make sure you've got a cup of water that you can sit back and sip off. Take a break after a little while and go get a snack or something. Set your pen down or your pencil down. Stretch out your hands so your hands don't start cramping. Get up, walk around, stretch your back. I promise it's related. It really helps. It'll keep you refreshed so you don't feel overwhelmed by your work. And when you come back, maybe you'll notice something that you should have done differently, or maybe you'll all of a sudden see what you want to do if you got stuck before you left. So make sure you take frequent breaks. They are very, very important for successful artwork. I think that's about it. I think that's about all I have to say for now. Hello, Head. I'll come back at the end of the video with my outro, and enjoy the music for now. Alright, we're at the end of the video. I hope you had fun drawing along with me. I can't wait to see your work. Share your progress photos on my Facebook page. I also have an Instagram and a Twitter, which I don't entirely know how to use, but if you do, you're more than welcome to somehow share your work with me on there too. Tomorrow we will be inking our sketches, so grab a pen you can trust to dry quick and that won't pool or bleed ink and therefore won't smudge. You can use a regular desk pen, an artist's inking pen, a Sharpie. Sharpie pens are my absolute favorite thing to draw line work with, or a marker. When you're deciding on a pen, keep in mind the detail of your sketch so you don't use something too thick to try to trace your tiny detailed lines. I've noticed these gel pens I've been using dry quick, so I found one that I trust to draw with because all of my old favorite inking pens have dried up and died without saying goodbye to me. They will be missed and replaced. I look forward to seeing your progress, and I hope you like this video because I can't wait to share tomorrow's video with you.